you doing the hardest service?
No, no. I don't think it's an ILS, is it? Just a locator peak.
Only localizer here.
It's only a localizer. No, I'm hand flying it. I'm coming in first, so there's one in front of me. Merlin's in front of me in a BE-36, but he's not running transmitter.
He's on Xbox, same as me.
I think 2.5 is the best for wind here.
That's
Yeah,
what little map says.
But I can't see that there's any localizer, not in the map at least.
Frequency is 109.35.
Okay.
I think the wind is 268 at 2 knots.
Both offset.
I missed that, sorry. What runway are we coming in on?
25.
25, thank you.
2-5.
programming in the route. Well, we're en route. Not exactly the correct way to do things, but ENBL. ENFL. ENSD. ENOV. And ENAL. It's quite windy, isn't it? So what altitude?
No, I don't feel so much. It was when we left the airport.
It's ever so slight crosswind, isn't it?
And I've blown the engine on the Kodiak.
Again. Just kidding.
Occupational hazard.
And the Y key doesn't work for that, does it, Jonathan?
No, it doesn't. When it's broken, it's broken.
The real thing.
don't get that. The yellow plane of me is where I really am. The red plane of me is about 2 miles behind.
Yeah.
I
same
noticed
here.
that too, David. I'm the same.
Yeah, same here.
There must be something wrong with well, don't know if it's little nav map or Discord.
Mine showed 2 different speeds as well.
I mean, it's always a couple of seconds behind, but this time it's minutes.
Yeah, there's something going wrong with the server. I'll go and have a look at it.
I'll head up on the next leg, 297 magnetic.
Yeah, I unchecked the remove duplicate and then rechecked it and made a, and put apply, and then the ghost disappeared in little nav map.
So I've just restarted the servers, but I think it's actually little nav map itself that's having the problem.
Yeah, I noticed it on an earlier flight today.
Well, as all programmers would say, it's a hardware problem.
Yeah, the live weather's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
How many programmers does it take to change a light bulb?
Well, you have to have someone to plan it, then you have to have somebody to check it, then you have somebody to write it.
No, no programmers. It's a hardware problem.
Somebody else to flick the switch.
How many mystery writers does it take to change a light bulb?
It's a mystery.
No, just one. We just need to add the surprising little twist at the end.
That's terrible.
The correct answer is 2 actually. One to screw it in almost all the way, and the second one to add the surprising little twist at the end.
And how many ADD kids does it take to change a light bulb? Hey, let's go bike riding.
So I think transmitter's playing ball now. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't showing, and now all of a sudden I am.
It's still wrong though. I think this little nav map that's causing it.
What is wrong? The position or?
Yeah, the red aeroplanes
Yeah,
are lagging behind where they should be.
Yeah. Mine's frozen on the map at the moment, Jonathan. It's not moving at all.
Connected.
Don't worry about it. It'll get right.
It's very picturesque around here.
Yeah, look at all the small villages down by the shore.
No, Pat's done the custom deliveries for the Hawk, Jonathan.
Oh, cool.
When you get the chance, you'll have a look at my live view. He's made a really good job of them.
Very cool.
Personally, I'm on the cockpit as well.
Very good.
Looks like there could be some rain clouds up ahead. Just some showers.
Two 5 is best for wind on the next airfield as well.
Yep.
Two 1-0 at 10.
Yeah, the airfield information on little nav map says 2-5.
Okay, on mine it says 210. Oh, you mean runway 25? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you guys use NOAA as a weather source? In little nav map, I mean.
I just go by what the airfield info tells me.
Yeah, but I think you can make a choice up in the weather menu in little nav map, and it gets the weather from different places as you select.
Okay.
Can be quite a big difference between like VATSIM or NOAA.
Who do you believe?
It's the weatherman. Don't trust anyone.
Only trust yourself.
Just look at the airfield weather storm.
I was going to say, just don't trust Michael Fish.
Only your windsock knows for sure.
Just a little pointer for you, Jonathan. I had a chat with ChatGPT, and Microsoft FS 2020 blends all the inputs from all devices.
How do you mean?
Well, if you had 6 joysticks and you pulled back the 6 joysticks at different degrees, it would take the average of the 6 inputs and feed that to the sim.
So that's good news for octopuses.
Yeah, yeah. No harm in that. I realised it was a technical solution. Tentacle solution.
Interesting wind on approach here.
If you're in a yacht, it'd be on the port beam, wouldn't it? Hey, David.
Sorry, say again.
I said if you're in a yacht, it'd be on the port beam. The wind there is.
Rich people, was it? Port out, starboard in.
That's it, that's it.
Hush. That's where it comes from.
Well, starboard comes from steerboard.
No, posh. Port out, starboard home. The India run.
It came out with P&O lines as they had the civil service accounts.
Well, the thing I heard was you had 2 sides. The port side is the side that you put to the port, because if you put the starboard or steerboard side, you broke it.
No, the thing with Posh was it depended which side of the sun was on when you were going out to the Far East and when you were coming back from the Far East. That's where the Posh came from, port out, starboard home.
I'm doing well tonight. I've just landed. I'm doing really well tonight. I just landed with my gear up.
No good.
You change lanes, Jonathan.
Well, it's not just that. I've got debugging windows open. I've got server monitors open. I've got programming windows open. It's just a nightmare.
John's office, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Need help straightening the blades?
I pressed Y.
That don't work on the Spitfires, do it? You still have a bent prop.
I'm hanging out for that coffee. It's next stop, isn't it, boys?
Yeah, I'm dying for one.
Windy approach, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Thrown all over the place.
Exciting.
Standard approach on coasts. Should try visit the north when you come 45-degree crab angle. And that's standard.
What happens if you're not flying a crab?
Well, interesting landing, I guess.
That plane's disappearing in front of me.
Yeah, I'm going to reboot the server.
A transmitter server, you mean?
Yeah. Because it's still not working.
Is it Floro we're stopping at, or under?
Yeah, that's the next one.
And there's the copy stop.
Roger.
Or your Pinot, David. It's early enough for you.
You know, radio.
We have our glacier up here as well. We're crossing over it.
I'm flying in the mornings and I'm here around 7:30, something like that. It's beautiful with the sun.
$7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Let's change that, have a look.
The golden hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it shows the paint.
Isn't it too pretty out to see there?
Creature.
Has anyone else seen that flat bit of rock over on the left-hand side, or the port side, if we're going to be correct, or if it's a problem with Microsoft?
It could be pulpit rock, which is a natural flat. Whereabouts is it? I can't see where you are.
It's on my... Oh, wait, I can't see where am I?
Yeah, it looks real.
On my port side.
No, I've just turned the nameplates on. I think that's going to be pulpit rock, which you can hike up to.
That time suggestion was on target. That's stunning.
I'm live right now and it looks wonderful.
Yeah, let me check outside if it's correct.
I think it's a glitch. It's a lake.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's a glitch. Yeah, it's pulpit rock is not modeled like this.
Yeah, it's a glitch, definitely. Yeah. Pulpit rock's also a lot further south than where we are actually. Yeah, it doesn't, nothing like that, does it?
Top of the rock has what appears to be a like a skyscraper could just fit straight through a hole at the top there.
Oh yes.
The runway 8 is best for wind here.
I'm going to hazard a guess 9, but I'll wait to hear.
I don't think it matters, the wind is side on, isn't it?
Certainly looks like it.
Little nav map says pretty stiff breeze too. 172 at 34 knots.
Need a coffee after that.
Airport information says runway 08. Headwind 2 knots, crosswind 3. So who do you believe? The little arrow at the little arrow at the top of little nav map says 177 at 27 knots now.
Yeah, checking over on Sky Vector. I don't know where the source for this airport is, but 030 at 4, and from 340 variable to 150.
It's only 177 feet, isn't it? So it's going to be all over the wind is down below.
Yeah, it's like it's swirling in eddies.
I suspect what's going on with transmitter is somebody has filled some junk into their transmitter program that is breaking the entire system. I've had it once or twice in the past, and I've tried to filter out junk, but people find more and more inventive ways of bringing the entire system down.
I mean, they're doing it on purpose.
I suspect so. We'll end up, I'll have to remove the notes field probably and just allow alphanumeric characters in the call sign and pilot name so people can't break it.
So can you tell who's online?
I think the fact that people are not updating means that somebody is filling the system with junk somewhere, and therefore it's just killing it.
Okay.
But diagnosing that while we're all in the air is a bit of a problem.
Yep.
Runway inside over the ridge and down we go.
Good evening, chaps.
Evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
You down, Alice?
Doing a runner for the coffee shop.
That was a relief. I only just stopped at the piano keys.
Yeah, I think you've got a slight tailwind. That might be why.
It's quite impressive watching all of the lights coming in.
$10.
Yep. I'm going to spawn back in a half-decent aeroplane.
Which one do you have in mind?
I don't know, I just used the Caribou just to fly in here, but that was probably a bad choice given that I was looking at server screens and stuff for half the flight and it has no autopilot. I was corkscrewing around all over the place.
Yeah, all of a sudden I saw an Airbus A320, I was like, oh wait, I don't have the Caribou, never mind.
I think I'm going to go and grab the caravan.
Yeah, going on a holiday?
ENSD.
Is it actually a thing in New Zealand? Caravanning? No, seriously, is it a thing there?
I'm in England. I'm not in New Zealand.
I'm sorry.
No, so over here, yeah, it is, and nobody understands the people that do it.
Yep. It's a big Dutch thing as well, but it's sort of like skipping generations now, I think. Everybody's used to a comfy hotel room.
Yep.
Should have picked up on the accent, but yeah, stupid Dutchie here.
Oh, you would have laughed. We went to Amsterdam a few months ago for my birthday, or a month ago, and yeah, I really struggled with some of your place names, and yeah, you would have been very amused at my attempts.
Well, I got an American friend of mine to say bierbommetjes in perfect Dutch. I was really impressed. It took about 15 minutes, but still really impressed. Years later, he outed it to me. I laughed so hard. Sorry, mate, I didn't bring the bierbommetjes.
It's just a different dialect, isn't it?
I've sort of noticed when I'm in different communities, like, well, when I travel to the UK or Germany or America, that all the different dialects I sort of copy after a few days. I don't know if that's a thing with other people as well, but I certainly do.
Yeah, I do as well.
I spoke differently in Tennessee than I did in Texas, so yeah. Although I do love me some slack-jawed American, of course.
Depends on who you talk to.
Roger.
Turn into baby English when you talk to Asians.
Actually, in the UK, I had a friend of mine living in Blackpool, and his daughter spoke the nicest English I've ever heard. Really swell, like the Queen of England was presented in front of me. It was astonishing and really nice.
Children learn so fast as well, multiple languages.
Yeah, over here as well. Our Dutch culture is basically based on trade. So in schools we learn to speak different languages, and I must say it's helped me a lot. I'm fluent in German, Dutch, and well, of course, I mean English. Sorry.
Oh, that's a very good thing.
And a bit of French, but yeah, French is my sort of bad language because yeah, it nearly got me stuck in was it something's grade, 4th grade at the MAVO. It was like, yeah, I'll drop it for my next year. So eventually I passed, but not for French.
I have a daughter that speaks 4 languages already.
Wow. Awesome. How old is she?
She'll be 5 soon.
5 and 4 languages? Oh, wow. Impressive.
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, the good thing about multiple languages is the world opens up to you.
Yeah, it does.
Watching different people on different sides of the world.
And they have to at least speak the, English is the main one. English and probably Spanish, probably.
And ENSD. ENOV. Arrow, ENML. ENOV. ENAL. Right, well, we're waiting for everybody to come back. I'm going to go and sort this aeroplane out while I'm flying circuits and get it ready to go. So I have no further drama.
You mean until you cook the engine again?
No, I won't cook it this one. This is the Black Square Caravan.
Probably find a way.
Oh, yeah.
One. That's quite a short takeoff there, John. Oh, you're turning around, okay. Watch out
how's it going?
on the end. Say again, how's it go?
Oh, John, I was wondering, you bought this pilot training kit, the theory,
Yes.
didn't you? Have you been looking through it?
I've done most of the basic airmanship stuff now, which is all things like, ascending turns, descending turns, unusual attitudes, stuff like that, and flying the circuit. But I think next up it goes on to things like radio navigation and the weather and doing things properly.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
I think the interesting thing is I've kind of come into it backwards because I figured out how instrument flight works really before I was flying an aeroplane properly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just means you did your ground school first.
Very possibly, but did it in a simulator flying aeroplanes.
Well, you got the basics down, like how wings work and stuff.
But yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of stuff that I've talked to a few people about it that I didn't know about the instruments, about just odd things like the markers that are on the nav radios and what they're actually there for and what they represent and how you can use them.
The whole odds and ends then.
Yeah, it's like if you notice on an HSI, there's a line down from the top of the HSI usually. You can actually use that as a very obvious kind of manual calculator when you're making a turn at a VOR, for example. You know, onto a radial.
Yes, was it something with the 30-second or 1 minute turn or something?
Yeah, so when you're turning onto the track. But yeah, that line that's at the top of the HSI is there for a very good reason, and it's the length of it is important because you can use it.
Well, I'll tell you something funny. I actually flew the Piper Turbo Arrow. I hated it, and this week I found out why. And I reinstalled it. I misfigured the constant speed propeller. I used it as a normal speed propeller, and I just couldn't get along with it until I found out what a constant speed propeller actually does. So now I'm having fun with it. I was like, what? I never heard of that before. Yeah, well, I heard of it before, but I never...
Yeah, I've got that to go through as well. So a lot of the training stuff I've been doing where I've recorded videos with it was all in the Cessna 152, which is like the most basic of basic aeroplanes. So I've got all that to go through about using turboprops properly.
Sure. This big bird.
We have a crosswind.
It's beautiful out here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Just had one mountain in front of me. You just don't have that in the Netherlands. The highest hill is like 300 meters.
It's a pain when you need to go somewhere in a car. You can see where you need to go, but it takes you 45 to an hour to get there.
Yeah, that's true. Unless there's a nice tunnel or something where you can cut across.
Come down under, we got plenty.
I love all the mythology of this part of the world with the trolls and kobolds and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore here.
Do you live in Norway?
Yeah, not far from here actually.
Oh, okay.
What city?
Definitely my favourite part of the world.
What'd you say?
What town did you live in?
A little bit south of Trondheim, so about 2.5, 3 hours with the car from here.
Yeah, I worked in Trondheim a lot.
It's a nice town.
Yeah.
A lot of university and stuff like that.
I was in Stjørdal.
Yeah, sure darn. Yeah.
Yeah, the airport there. Working for a company, Helitrans.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Varnes.
Yes.
Very small airport, but it's okay.
Yeah. They have some flights.
Interesting approach when you come from the sea.
Yeah, I actually landed there in the sim for about a week ago.
And they have an army base not far from it, Öland.
Okay, I haven't been there. But that area is also very, very nice.
Oh yeah, extremely hilly as well. And a lot of windmills.
Yeah.
Somebody saying windmills? You just woke up the Dutchie in me.
Yeah, we have a lot of windmills and coasts in Norway.
Gotcha.
And most of the salmon come from where I'm from, actually.
Okay, those breeding places there.
Yeah, a couple of islands just northwest of Trondheim, or west of Trondheim.
Yeah, that's a huge export product for Norway, I know.
Yeah, it's I think soon it's passing oil, actually. Surpassing oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not far off now to surpass or equal to oil export or amount of cash.
Fish oil.
Yeah, fish oil. I have like 3 planes dedicated to fish transport alone.
Right, is everybody back?
Yep.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, I guess we set off on the next leg then.
I was halfway down it and had to come back, Jonathan. $355.
Let's see if I can figure out how to get to the bottom of this problem with the data feed. "68 aircraft online." And that's consistent. Is the last one got anything weird in it? Nope.
Incredible landscape here.
Agreed.
Little nav map says all runways good for landing and takeoff, so I'm going to shoot over and fly down the fjord and come in on, what runway would it be? 08 or something.
06 or 24.
Yeah, 06.
Today's tour is definitely more relaxing than the mock loop.
Missed the mock loop.
Yeah, that was fun, really fun. I'm hooked on jets now.
Trouble is, after an hour of doing that, you were so stressed out. It was just crazy.
Yeah, you said that. We were going to leave after an hour. But you stayed till the end, didn't you?
Yeah, I stayed and watched because it was good fun.
So how many of the VR users had to use physical therapy the week after? As I can imagine, looking left and up was quite hard work.
It's just on the neck that it's a bit difficult at the end here. You have more weight.
Well, it took me until, you know, several more tries this week to start actually painting the loop with my dashed lines instead of looking like a plate of spaghetti.
There is something satisfying about that, isn't it?
I just had a sore neck afterwards. Runway's lit up nice.
Are we doing this on live weather then? Yeah, on the live time, the colour of the water with the red clouds reflecting in it is ridiculous.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
What time are you on?
Very red.
Just on live. It's
Live time.
Oh, thanks for that. Beautiful. Wow.
Of course, all of the nav lights are lit up like fireflies.
Microsoft plan to implement the Northern Lights, don't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it on the wish list on the forum that it's underway.
There's a problem with the runway lights. They're about 10 feet up off the ground.
Is that the fault?
That's definitely a misprogramming problem.
It's looking correct for me.
It's correct also on my side. It's at ground level.
Are you drinking, Peter?
I don't know, they were so high that they were reflecting in the windscreen.
Yeah.
Are you sure you landed on the runway?
You mean down the high street?
I was going to say, there is a road alongside, or, you know, just before it. You didn't see a
Same for
roundabout
me.
in the runway, did you?
The same for me, the lights are suspended.
I wonder if something in your scenery you've got somewhere is affecting that then.
Yeah, possibly.
If you have a mesh, or I don't, there was some update of the Nordic things in the last world update. So if you have not downloaded the latest updates, maybe there are some fixes.
Yeah, it could be that. I'll check that.
Yeah, speaking of fixes, I'd love for somebody to fix the quadrant for the ATR so I could actually fly the flipping thing.
Yeah, I had a bit of trouble setting it up, but are you talking about the Bravo quadrant?
No, I've got the Thrustmaster Airbus, and it is hopelessly hosed.
Yeah, well, the Bravo worked out all right. I think it was Simhanger did a video on setting it up, and it works well.
Well, I've got the Airbus quadrant. It seems I've got it working.
You have to set
John, I can't get it to recalibrate, right? So, man, I go back into the tablet and change the settings, and all the settings change to the same value for the indent. It's crazy. I've tried a number of things, like starting back from the default and making changes. No effect at all.
Yeah, that is weird.
I know someone got stuck in that, and what they found out is that you have to restart the whole sim.
Oh.
After you've been into the tab that's done some adjustments, you have to restart the sim, and then you can go back to the standard config, so to say.
Just out of interest, when you were trying to configure it, did you undo the gust lock before you started trying to do it?
Sure did.
Ah, because I think I had that, and I was pulling my hair out thinking, what am I doing wrong? And then discovered the gust lock was locking the throttle.
Yeah, I rebooted my PC 3 times, and before I understood that this gust lock thing was blocking direction on the throttle, on the yoke, sorry.
If the fix for this is reinstalling the sim, I'm not sure I've got the appetite for that. There are other things to fly.
No, not reinstalling, just restart it.
Oh, restart, yeah. Tried that.
I think he means in between edits. So every time you touch it, restart it.
Yeah, when you do a major edit there with the, you have this check mark there where you put in if you have reverse on the axis or not, those things.
Alright, gotcha. I'll give it a shot.
Next airport, Ålesund, I guess.
Yes.
Should visit that town. That's a beautiful town.
Vigor.
Ålesund.
It's beautiful. I think in the sim there's some fauna at Ålesund, isn't it? Some birds or something?
Say again?
I think there's some fauna.
Yes, you're correct.
Around here. Yeah, birds, I think. I've never seen them, but...
Got ILS at the next stop.
Yes.
111.95.
11195.
Roger.
Thanks.
Okay, let's get this ready for landing. How are we doing on speed? A bit fast. Just side slipping it down to lose some height in a hurry. Let's get the VASI lights lined up. That's one, there's two, there we go, we're on track.
Just like real life.
Should we see if we can hit the markers? Not quite.
Now these runway lights are where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's interesting that the other one was out, isn't it?
Yes, I know, and they were also at the approach end. They tilted up.
Yeah, they were actually, weren't they? Much higher.
You must have a scenery conflict there, I think, Peter.
Yes, it looked very weird. I've never seen that before.
I haven't got any add-on scenery for this area, and mine was fine, so...
I don't, to be fair, either.
I don't for around here either. Just remember to put the undercarriage down at the last minute.
That's better than me.
I was over the edge of the runway when I realised.
Gear fixed.
You mean you broke it before? Now you fix it?
Repaired.
Oopsie daisy. I was just looking into my retrofit DC3 GPS, see if I can change the color. Got the throttle, slammed into the water. Oops. One should not focus on GPS while flying.
Should have had the float version then.
Yeah, probably. It might have worked.
It's interesting, one of the books we were on about earlier that I bought, I've not actually got as far as looking in it at all yet, is all about the limits of the human kind of pilot. And not just in terms of, you know, altitude and things like that, but actually saturation of workload.
Yeah.
It's often the common discussion when people talk about their ability to multitask, and it's a false understanding. We focus on one task at a time and then swap rapidly between them.
Yep.
Isn't that a fundamental difference between the male and the female, because they're blessed with the ability? Is that a load of rubbish, is it?
100%. We are the same.
I think you might find the female cortex is like a telephone exchange compared with a man.
They just do it more quickly than we do, is that what you say?
No, imagine we've got two telephones and they've got a switchboard, and that's how they can track multiple inputs, whereas we can't. That's been proven for probably half a century or so. It's fun to test it on your wife if you dare. So have three conversations, talk about the flight sim, talk about going out and doing some shopping, and talk about some other object thing like your holiday, and just change the conversation between. She'll not notice.
You like being in trouble, do you?
Here it works.
You're the type of person that sort of picks a fight with your wife, then puts her a cape on and you tell her she's a super wife.
You guys have just destroyed my one and only excuse I've got left, and that is that males can't multitask.
Yeah, we can't.
Not as easily as a woman can.
Men can manage parallel data far easier than serial data. Women excel at serial data.
Oh, a runway in sight.
Serial data, does that mean they come with a Kellogg's box?
Aye, serial, as in SER.
As in killers?
John will tell you all about bits.
I hope he doesn't.
I can certainly tell you how computers manage data, but I couldn't tell you a thing about how humans do it.
Yes, and if you can't have a whole bite, just have a nibble.
I did read a book years and years ago by a Professor Susan Blackmore, is it, that did a load of work on the brain, and she said, this is looking back 20 years ago now, but at that point we were just making huge advances with reading alpha waves and stuff like that, and you had all these funny toys coming out like thought controlled joysticks and stuff, and the military were really interested in all that kind of stuff. But she said the big problem then was our knowledge of the brain. We could see stuff going on, and it's still pretty much the same now as far as I understand, but it's kind of like looking at a city from orbit, where you can see there's lights moving, and you can see, you can say when this area does something, this area does something, but we know nothing more than that.
Exactly.
And it doesn't help that you then get all these observations they've made with like people who've had a stroke, for example, where the brain then reprograms itself, and the area that's knackered gets put to one side, and the rest of it takes over and relearns.
I actually had a friend of mine who had a, that vein in her neck was too long, which sort of cut the blood towards her brain, and the piece of her brain died. And she's actually fully okay. I cannot alter her or anything, but it's just, weird. And she had it on the other side. She fainted and was brought to hospital. And then the medical staff had to try to tell her that half her brain was missing. And she was like, yeah, I already know. What? Yeah, they were really like terrified to tell her. And she was like, yeah, that happened before. Oh, okay. So they shortened the veins, and now she's okay. So yeah, it's weird. All the functions.
Don't they say that
she didn't lose anything?
Well, don't they say the human being only uses half its brain anyway?
Well, I always heard that we use 10 to 15% of what the brain is actually capable of.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. Time. It just means at one time.
Yeah.
It's to do with energy use as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the entire brain is used. It's just only at a part of a time. It all be engaged.
I remember reading a thing.
And the scariest thing to lose.
Yeah, I remember reading years ago. Oh, crikey. It was just looking at different animals and why some have succeeded and some haven't, and the ratio of brain size to body size, and it comes down to energy generation is the kind of overriding thing, that you can only have a bigger brain if your body can provide the energy to run it.
It's also heat.
Yeah.
Eat more chocolate, Jonathan.
Yes.
Yeah. Get the revs up, more salt.
Well, it's like you hear stories, don't you? Like the Russian grandmasters at chess used to hold their head in their hands to increase the blood pressure in their head. it was a known hack, you know, like a body hack to get a bit more power out of your brain.
Oh wow.
If anybody wants to do it again, we've got an ILS for our last airport, which is 109.75.
I think I saw 108 flying around.
I'll check.
It's interesting, isn't it? Just saying. Sorry, all I was going to say is it's interesting looking around at the airfields how many of them have got ILS. It's probably because the weather can be so horrific that it's the only chance you've got.
Yeah, I can confirm that's 109.75 for the ILS, and that's straight in for us.
Thank you.
I just hope you've all booked your approaches.
As you're talking about the woman who had part of her brain die, my father had a heart attack and one of the ventricles of his heart was dead. And he carried on for years before he even realized that he'd had a heart attack of that significance, because other arteries around the outside grew and reconnected the heart outside of that atrium.
Oh wow.
That's what they say happens to the brain, doesn't it? When you have brain damage, that it forms new synaptics to make the connections.
Confirmed. You can still do a looping with the DC-3.
I read that they're coming out with a short Skyland.
They are. Black Box is making it.
Yeah, it's going to be something. 330, I think it was.
I think they're going to make several versions of it.
It's the 330 and the 360, I believe.
Yeah, it's a nice aircraft. Pretty ugly, but nice to fly.
Has there been a verdict on the 160 yet?
Silence. I don't mind it, but I know some people have got really hung up on things not being finished in it and all the rest of it.
All right.
It's quite interesting. Somebody sent me an email today while I was out. I had a quick read of it while I was sat watching the football, supposed to be watching the football, and I think they must have worked as an engineer on the C-160s, and they were basically telling me all the bits to fill in not really things I'd done wrong, but filling in the detail of the startup sequence and waiting for the engines to do certain things before you flick various switches, and you know, the strict ordering of the overhead switches and stuff like that.
That's great.
So yeah, I'll try and work it into a new version of the startup document, because the documentation that came with it was garbage. It amazes me in the sim actually how often the checklists built into the sim are wrong.
Yeah, it's rather frustrating.
I think just going back to the DC-3, that was a good one where I recorded a video with it and I had a real Dakota pilot start messaging me. And he said, yeah, if you try that in the real thing, you'll set the engine on fire pretty quickly. But he was really useful for stopping me from doing ground loops. He said, yeah, the real thing, the thing you're missing in the simulator is the feel of what's happening. Whereas in the real thing, obviously, you've got the seat of your pants, so you can feel it starting to try and ground loop as soon as you touch the floor.
Locked on the ILS.
I'm not tail in Charlie, but I'm way behind, and with the nameplates on, there's just a great big blob in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, I got a button set for nameplates on and off.
Yeah, I have too.
And me.
It is pretty helpful though.
It is. It's probably the best thing.
Through, yeah.
Yeah, that's the next setting to do. Pretty cool.
I actually prepared the old system before they incorporated it into the sim when you had to use the add-on, because you had more control over the nameplates. Haven't figured out how to change it in the sim. They don't give you those options.
Yeah, I'm still using Box's add-on.
It stopped working for me. Try putting it back on again then.
I like that it resizes the external view and it resizes the map world view as well.
Yeah. I'll try activating it again because it sort of stopped working after the update for me.
And the sim's frozen and it's crashed the multiplayer.
Do you have to turn the option off in the sim?
The other way, I had to turn it on.
Ah, so you got to have both going.
Well, I had to turn the option for nameplates to be visible on, and then the mod would work on toggling it on and off.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll try loading it again.
I think we'll try for another sonic boom, I think.
I think 629 was the magic number, right? Or was it 529? Forgot.
Oh, 0.92.
Why do I feel like the Blue Angels are doing the sneak attack from the back pass? Oh, Jonathan?
Sorry?
What a nice flight.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Did you see the PM that I sent you?
Not yet.
Scrapyard monster?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, yes, sorry, yes. Yes. Yeah, that looked amazing.
I laughed so hard.
So I don't know if anybody else has seen this, that Got Friends have made a junkyard monster aeroplane that's made...
That's not Got Friends, but it has the Got Friends style.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was.
This guy is called Lord Fritz in Flight Sim Break. Flight Sim Break Discord. He's made his own channel now. He's calling his product Flying Frights. Flying Feet. He's always been called Potato or something over there. So
right.
I'm quite a new member, but yeah, he opened up the beta, so if people give him the information about their computer and their specs and stuff. He's going to send out links next week for different systems to test on. And,
so
he's going to bring it out June 1st, I think, or the second week
brilliant.
of June, something like that.
Yeah, so just for everybody on the channel, anyone that's not seen it yet, if you imagine you went to a junkyard and got bits and pieces of any kind of engineering and built an aeroplane out of it that somehow flies, that's what he's made for the simulator.
It's got a plastic lawn chair for your captain's seat.
It's brilliant.
BMW steering wheel as a yoke.
It's unbelievably powerful too.
Yeah, it's 810 kilograms, I think, or 850, and power to weight is 1 point something. It's hilarious. It's got a Aston Martin V8 in there or something. It's like,
Scrappy challenge for aviation.
When he told me it was hilarious, I was like, yeah, sure. And then I saw it, I was like, seriously, dude.
Perfect for the mock loop, right?
I would guess so, but I think it's more like, I think it's an ultimate stall machine. Because he put out a video where he did the Red Bull land on the helipad thing. And he actually used a quarter of the helipad to land. Then he floored it again, and I think within half of the helipad he was off the floor. I was like, what? So
brilliant.
I'm really curious to beta test this thing. I've not got the most powerful computer, but
right. I'm going to end the live stream there. So thanks anyone who is watching the live stream.
15 or 20 feet for the landing?
As you can tell, I'm not broadcasting this over Discord, so thanks for watching the live stream. I'm going to stop it there tonight. I'll see you again soon.
Headwind.
Yeah, I think he had about 10